Hi, I'm Bronwyn Hill, Naturopathic Doctor. I've been in practice for 4 years, and areas of specialty in my practice include fertility, pregnancy-specific care, and pediatrics. Our adrenal glands. These little glands that sit on top of our kidneys, they're about the size of walnuts, have a big job to do, day in, day out. Adrenal glands are endocrine glands, so it means that they build hormone, and hormones are messengers throughout our body, so really they get things done. Now, the adrenal glands are responsible for building and secreting several different hormones. There's actually different layers to the gland, and from each layer there's a slightly different hormone that's built there. But the famous ones are the stress response hormones like cortisol and norepinephrine, and then we have other hormones that regulate blood pressure and other hormones that are involved in immune function as well. So one gland that secretes and builds several different types of hormones has a big job to do. Adrenal glands, primarily, we think of them as being the glands that respond to our stress levels. And they certainly do that. So they're always firing around the clock. Like even when we're asleep, it's just that our cortisol rhythm changes and our output changes. But it's really important to consider the factors that might fatigue these glands, right? You can think of them as like a car, and if they don't have gas and oil and all the things that make it work, they will get tired, and the function and the output of the car is going to suffer. And so it's really common that I see in practice signs of wear and tear in this system. And it can lead to a whole other host of endocrine or hormonal issues, because when one hormone goes off, it can lead to a bunch of others going off as well. You know, some of the things, when I'm talking about stress, I mean just day-to-day, modern lifestyle. We're busy people. We have jobs, we have families, we have traffic, we are multitaskers. And that's a chronic ask on this system and a chronic secretion of cortisol and the hormones that help us respond to it. So things that will, help these glands function properly is really great nutrition, recovery time, and really good sleep. And I see a lot of people that don't have these things in place to help these glands continue to function at their ideal sort of level. So this is where a supplement can come in handy. So if people aren't getting good sleep and their nutrition is lacking and there's gaps there, and the stress level is just really getting ahead of them, you can see signs and symptoms, and people will feel this of how those adrenals are really tiring out. So that could be anything from just general fatigue in a day, it could be consistent, it could be periodic. Sleep disruption in and of itself can be a sign of adrenal fatigue, brain fog in general, also poor sort of recovery after exercise. It usually makes you feel more worn out and tired. Poor healing after you get injured is a sign of real significant adrenal fatigue as well. Blood pressure disruptions can indicate it, blood sugar cravings, all kinds of things. And once again, paired with not a nutrient-dense diet, too many stimulants, which sort of quickly fuel those glands, we're on a track to really wearing them out. So a lot of people can benefit at times in their life from some distinct adrenal gland support. And one of the things that we like to use to do this are a class of herbs called the ADAPTOGENS, which means they're plants that help our body non-specifically cope with stress, perceived and physical. They generally help to normalize and balance the output of hormones like cortisol and others from the gland itself. They also support immune function, so often when we're stressed, we get sick, or if after you've gone through a stressful period, you maybe experience this, you get sick. These herbs help to tonify that system and prevent that from happening in the first place. They balance blood sugar, and in general, they encourage cellular energy production, so they just make us feel a little bit more vital. The nutrients that are really key for the adrenal glands to building these hormones include vitamin C, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin B5. So when you're looking for an adrenal support formula, something to really restore those glands and help normalize their function, you want to consider a combination of adaptogenic herbs, perhaps rhodiola, astragalus, holy basil, ashwagandha is another great one, and a combination of nutrients that are building blocks for what that gland needs to build. So we look at vitamin B5 particularly, vitamin C, and magnesium. Those are real keys to the adrenal gland being able to put out hormone consistently and in a balanced fashion as well.